Hi and welcome to this look at the 14-day weather prospects. September has been a mixed month and notably there were some big temperature contrasts. For example, on the 15th of the month I recorded 30 Celsius here in Berkhamsted, but only 9 days later the maximum temperature was 13.7 Celsius. It really did feel like we'd been fast forwarded from September straight into November. Now, the month is ending on an unsettled note, and I think that sets the theme quite nicely as we head into October. So let's take a look in a little more detail. I'm going to start with the pressure and 850 HPA temperature sequence from today's GFS 12Z model, and if I play it, we can see what happens. Now, initially we've got low pressure to the northwest of the UK, and you'll see those areas of low pressure sinking southwards and deepening over continental Europe, France in particular. And the area of low pressure here, which is on Saturday's forecast to be centred over central France, has been named Storm Alex by Meteo France. And it, obviously for them it looks like a very significant feature, but it will also probably play a major role in the UK's weather. We're on its north side, so we are going to be pulling in winds from the east or the northeast, and upper air temperatures don't look particularly notable. We've got greens over the UK, perhaps something a little bit warmer coming into the east and the south. But the main features of weather are probably going to be the rain and the wind associated with this system, especially in southern counties of Britain. So if I just play that through to the end of the weekend, there we are, 15 GMT on Sunday the 4th of October. We can see that the area of low pressure is still very much in control of the weather across the UK. So we're going to be locked into an unsettled pattern during this period. As I mentioned, a key feature could well be the amount of rainfall. So if I just quickly pop across to take a look at some of the forecast rainfall charts. This is from the Meteo France model, and it's an aggregate rainfall chart between midday today and 18 GMT on Sunday, the 4th of October. If I just highlight southern England, you can see there are some really big rainfall totals forecast by this. Over 100 millimetres here in areas to the west of London and to the southwest of London. Now, forecast totals like this are more normal in northern and western parts of the UK. So I would expect there to be some flooding in parts of southern England, possibly central England even, if this turns out to be correct. I'll just skip across to the German icon model, and again it shows something quite similar. Obviously variations as you would expect, but the general pattern's quite similar here. We've got very large rainfall totals by Sunday afternoon in southern England, and this one's going for about 112, 115 millimetres near to the south coast. But, if anything, the really large rainfall totals according to this model run are over a smaller area, and they're not spreading so far north. Having said that, there's signs of significant rainfall in eastern Scotland as well, but the focus does look to be on southern England. If I take a look at the GFS 5-day forecast chart, also showing aggregate rainfall. This goes out a little bit further. This is until midday on Monday, the 5th of October. So, as I say, it's a slightly longer time period. Nonetheless, again, we can see these large rainfall totals, which are very similar to the to what the German icon model was showing, with the over 100 millimetres falling in areas to the south of London. So, and again, also we've got quite a bit of rain in central and eastern Scotland showing there. So there is a potential for some flooding, and as I say, at times it will be windy as well. There could be gales around. Now if I just finish playing the sequence, and we'll take it through the early part of next week, You can see things are only changing very slowly. I'm going to stop it now at Thursday 6 GMT. By then we can see for some yellows and orange shadings over the UK indicating warmer. Upper level air pushing in as a warm sector there, but we're still very much dominated by areas of low pressure, so by that point we can all expect showers or longer periods of rain. Of course the details looking this far ahead will change, but the general pattern seems to be pretty much set. Now, if we take a look at the 16-day plots to see what may happen during the second week of October, this is quite interesting. I know it goes against some of the forecasts, but this data is very, very new. It's just become available this evening. And what it's tending to point towards is the possibility of drier conditions developing during the second week of October. So across the horizontal axis we've got time, which goes out to 16 days. So you can see that it finishes on the 15th of October. The upper half of the chart is showing 850 HPA temperatures. Those are about 1,500 meters above sea level. But more importantly, the lower half shows rainfall, and that's what I'll just focus on. You can see in the short term we've got this very, very wet period of weather which I've been discussing out to about the 6th or the 7th of October. But then it doesn't go dry, but the number of rainfall spikes appearing between the 7th of October and the end of the run on around the 15th or the 16th, the number does decrease significantly. So it looks as though there is a chance of it turning somewhat drier through this period. It's probably not going to be settled fully, but it looks like we're going to lose the really wet weather if this is correct. Now that's a London plot. If I just quickly jump across to the Glasgow one, you'll see in the short term it's perhaps a little less wet than the London one. But as we go through the second week of the month, this period here, it actually looks wetter, if anything. So what it suggests to me is that by then we could see a more typical pattern becoming established across the North Atlantic, with areas of low pressure tracking further north, perhaps towards between Scotland and Iceland or the northern half of the UK. Hence the wettest conditions becoming more focused on the north and west of Britain by then. It is, as I say, it does run counter to some forecasts, so I don't have a high degree of confidence in this outcome, but it is what the latest data is showing. So to summarise all that, in the short term it's a very, very unsettled picture. There could be some large rainfall totals during the next 4 or 5 days in southern England particularly, with over 100 millimetres in places. That could well lead to some flooding. The rain's going to be combined with strong winds at times, and there will be gales in places. But as I say, I think the focus is really on that significant rainfall. Second week of October could see a trend towards less unsettled conditions, with the chance of drier periods increasing, particularly in the south. All in all, it's a very autumnal picture. So there we have it. Thank you for watching. Bye now.